The following video is concerning how not to be an idiot like John Kirby, and also why this might actually be a nothing burger or not. We will find out later, or you won't be allowed to. Quick and dirty, the far past and the recent past. In the before time, there are multiple incidents of a particular politician criticizing vets, including ones that are dead from World War II. Now, some of you, actually most of you, know exactly which person I'm referring to, and some of you are immediately typing that that's not true. And I know that you're going to be typing that, if you actually care. You could type, actually, what that particular politician said was such and such, but it's being interpreted, maybe inappropriately, as him saying that people who died in World War II were losers. In any way, shape, or form. And it's a Republican, and it's Donald Trump. And the pushback, the psychotic level of pushback you get from people saying you shouldn't interpret it that way. This is what's being reported in the news and blah, blah, blah. And you can look up whether he really said that, and you can look it up on Snopes and other websites. But the point is, that's the impression that's being given, that Donald Trump criticizes people who died in the World War, and he called them losers. Is that really true? Okay. Now, go look it up. Come back in a minute. So, the Republican Party and Fox News and a bunch of other things, maybe Project Veritas, are really trying hard to find any Democrat that says the same kind of crap so they can say, see, they did it. Because that's been the playbook for the last decade. So, you're working at the White House, or you're someone specifically who opened their mouth about something recently that's controversial, and you get a little packet of information. It's an email or it's an envelope from Fox News, otherwise known as faux news, which is a propaganda source that keeps doing whataboutism and yabbits and both sidisms. Now, we have that expression because of, this meme. And it's concerning even the mentioning of veterans in the work. And it's criticizing, maybe you personally, and definitely the current administration, about the 2021 Afghanistan withdrawal. Should you bother with it? How many veterans? It's 4 veterans. There's like hundreds of thousands, up to 1 million, depending on how you count veterans who are in the military or former military, etc. Out of all of those veterans, 4 veterans were, quote, cherry-picked, that's one of the claims, by Fox News, digital press, they call themselves now, to criticize the 2021 Afghanistan withdrawal, the White House, and John Kirby because he made some comments recently. And this is worth responding to. 4 people criticizing the work of hundreds of thousands of people, or thousands of people, who unfortunately ended up with the 2021 Afghanistan withdrawal being an absolute shit show. See also 1975 image of a helicopter hovering over a roof in Saigon as an image of the quagmire ending and people desperately trying to leave the area. I'll have a link below in the description. It ends in DUNS, DUNS. So, again, repeating myself, you have a propaganda source, Fox News, which had reporters and prominent individuals that we could almost name off, like Sean Hannity. People like that being compelled in court to honestly reply, did you lie about something to the American people? And them, in effect, and actually in some cases directly saying, yes, we lied. We knew we were saying something that wasn't true, and we were trying to convince people of it. And then immediately following, we're not a news channel. We're trying to make people believe certain things and do certain things. We're trying to influence them so they can avoid maybe losing FCC licensing. So even when Fox News people admit they're basically No, admit that they're a propaganda source. They're garbage. You still don't understand that they're lying to all of y'all, okay? But more importantly, you're at the White House and you know damn good and well that they're doing that. And they're trying to get you to say something about veterans because that's the hot topic. And they send you something that includes, it literally only has to be one veteran, but it's 4 of them. Oh my God. What are you going to do? The Hillary Clinton protocol for handling email servers starts with the word don't. Unless it's absolutely life-saving requirement, don't, because you don't know what you're doing. If you knew what you were doing, you wouldn't be consulting me. You'd just be doing the work. But then again, you wouldn't be Hillary Clinton. We all have our specialties. I have no idea what Hillary specializes in, but it is sure as fuck not email and technology. And John Kirby apparently lacks communication skills. So what did he do after reading this obvious trolling piece sent to him to try to get him to reply in any way, shape, or form that they could reuse and misuse and misquote or totally leave out of context? They did that, by the way, this time too. You're looking at this thing that's begging for you to reply. They're trolling the shit out of you. And you hit reply all to all the White House staffers saying, don't respond. That would have been fine by itself because you didn't check your reply all button because you included by accident the Fox News email that it came from, right? Okay. But instead you said, obviously no use in responding. To who? A handful of vets indeed, and all of one stripe. Are you being ambiguous in your communication? Again, rule 0. Don't. Are you not including complete context of what you're saying? Don't, then. Are you using a button that's easy to click that seems to save you a lot of work in a modern program or an app that obviously causes problems because it's too easy? The answer again is don't. What the email probably meant, this is me interpretive dancing this, okay? Let's interpretive dance around it. First of all, let's do the last part. All of one stripe is so ambiguous. Yes, I know you can reinterpret it into something, but it's bordering on, we're not including it in the reply. So I'm going to redo this. Obviously no use in responding to Fox News. Why are you leaving it ambiguous who we're not responding to? You know that they're going to... Was the word vet in the email? Yeah. Again, don't. But if you're going to do, which again, your technician's telling you how not to make an ass of yourself. Yes, that's a reference to Star Trek and Picard talking to Riker. Your job is to make sure to keep me from making an ass of myself. I'm trying to help you. But if you insist on doing it, be non-ambiguous. Obviously no use in responding to Fox News would have been... It's like it's waiting for to Fox News. Period. Then hit enter a couple of times, so it's obvious you're making 2 sentences, you nitwit. Seriously, Mr. Kirby, John, Buppy, don't. Next. A handful of vets, indeed, and all of one stripe. Let's change that. 4 vets out of hundreds of thousands being exploited by Fox News for propaganda purposes. Now, this is called mining a response, if you're not aware of it. It's where you poison your responses to where a person wouldn't repeat them. If somebody criticizes me and accuses me of committing some crime, my response might be very obviously coming from a convicted criminal in Britain who had to run away to Spain. Shouldn't be a person I reply to. But if I'm going to do so, it'd be great if they didn't go for the first trope of me being some sort of elitist when I'm po-ass. Somebody reading that back is just going to be repeating what I want them to say. I'm making them say stuff. But no, John Kirby got Fox News to say, obviously no use in responding, a handful of vets, indeed, and all of one stripe. And they might have just stuck in an extra word like, obviously no use in responding to a handful of vets, indeed of all of one stripe. At which point its ambiguity is aggravating. And of course, Fox News just might have put a couple of words in there and made it sound different. It's two different sentences. The first part's criticizing Fox News, and the second part is talking about this is 4 out of hundreds of thousands of vets. And you could add in, the reason you're bringing that up is because obviously no reason to respond to Fox News exploiting them. And you could also include, to do damage control for Donald Trump constantly repeating that vets who died in World War II were losers. They're not going to want to repeat that because there's some merit to that statement. And again, you've landmined it to the point that they can't use it. What are we going to do? They can't read it directly, but you gave them a meme-worthy, short little chunk that anybody can repost, like I do for this video, that makes you look like shit. Because someone can choose to change the punctuation or just infer things because you're not being overt. And again, none of this would have happened if you just didn't hit reply. So here, how do we fix this, Lab Tech? Save us from ourselves because we're all knuckleheads. Look in the camera. Look at me. I want you to go get a mirror and say, I'm a knucklehead at whatever you're bad at. I'm going to have someone do it for me. But if I'm going to do it, I'm going to presume I'm a knucklehead and critique my own work. If you hit reply all and then send, you're not critiquing your own work. You're not acknowledging that you're an idiot. We're all flawed. So this is how we do it. This is my 30th take of this video. Okay. All the others are destroyed. Hillary Clinton protocol number 0. Don't. Next one. If you're told to destroy things, actually destroy them. Immediately. Not weeks later because you didn't tell them, oh, by the way, the CIA is showing up. That's a joke. Let's move on. The protocol is don't do something unless you're an expert at it. And if you're an expert at it, you wouldn't be John Kirby. So let's get on with being John Kirby. How to do it if you're a normal idiot like everybody else, including me, by the way. I'm bad at email. Here's your email. It has several components. Here's the body of the email down here. It's whatever you're replying to. Don't hit reply. Don't hit reply all. Here it is. Copy all of it and paste it into a text file, not Word. Word can do email, but also it can jimmy things around. Don't do that. Above it, you're going to put in a copy and paste of the subject line. And hit enter enough times that it forces them to be separate to where you can't mix them up. And then between them, you're going to pick a spot, and you're going to type in my reply. Use those words, hit enter. And then you're going to read what you have been sent and type out a reply, a short, terse, complete reply to everything. Fox News did not include what they sent them. Well, here's the obviousness. No, they're leaving something out. They're lying by omission. What is it you're replying to? If you reply to somebody with everything they said to you and your response directly below it by dismantling it, which takes more work, it's not convenient, and you'll screw up less, the context is built into the reply, and nobody on Fox News is going to repeat that back because it makes them look like they're jimmying you around. This is obviously bait, using 4 people out of hundreds of thousands who are vets, so that we have to comment on vets, so they can get a soundbite saying something terrible about vets. Do not reply to anything from Fox News. They are a propaganda source. They're willing to do this, and they've had to admit in the past that they've lied to the American public. And they're all doing this because Donald Trump has been caught saying things that can be easily interpreted as him denigrating vets by saying they're losers. They're not going to read that last part at all because that just brings up something they're trying to push back on. They're not going to read all of that because it's too long, and they're not going to read you taking apart their attempt and calling them on it. But how do you and I do this? We make this text file that has the email addresses we want to send to, the subject matter, what we're replying to, and our reply. We get rid of what we're replying to. We only include the reply. We go through the email addresses and look for any we don't want to communicate with. Ding, ding, there's a Fox News link. Don't do that. And then we cut and paste it by hitting compose. Do not use reply or reply all or any of the easy buttons because you'll make mistakes because you're not thinking about everything you're doing and being paranoid. Are you talking about a subject someone can misuse against you if you are taken out of context? Because they will. If the answer is yes, don't do this. But if you're going to do it, be very paranoid and literally do it off here, off to the side in a text editor, and then hit reply when you do this. Teaching people to do this and unlearning shit behaviors that cause problems at a bank took a lot of work. And I got to yell at a CEO about it. Thank Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. There's your free visit for right now.